We're live at the Code Conference in Scottsdale, Arizona this morning. Tech bigwigs questioned about their growing dominance, squeezing industries from retail to publishing. Joining us this morning to discuss the changing economics of digital media and big tech's growing influence, of course, Vox Media CEO Jim Bankoff. Jim, good to see you again.
Hey, good morning, Carl.
Congratulations on a conference that feels bigger.
It is a little bit bigger. We're here in Scottsdale this year. We got a great crowd and so much to talk about.
So much of last night's conversations have been about companies on the defensive, right? From regulation, privacy concerns, content concerns. How much of the conversation we're used to having about innovation and growth and new markets is getting displaced?
Well, I think some of it is. I mean, tech goes through cycles, and sometimes they're big cycles of innovation. We always talk about innovation here, by the way. We're going to have jetpacks today. We have new forms of transportation, new forms of AI. So we're always going to focus on what's next, but we would be not diligent if we weren't talking about how tech has really taken over so many aspects of our lives. In fact, our Recode brand and our Vox brand have come together to really talk about how tech influences every part of society, every part of politics, every part of culture. So the tech story is not just about devices, it's not just about servers and software. It's about our lives, and we have to reflect that if we're going to have an honest conversation.
Is there an argument starting to coalesce about how companies will respond if these threats come to fruition in the next year or two?
Well, there's a good discussion about that. On stage yesterday, we had leaders from Instagram, from YouTube, from AWS, from Twitter, and everyone has different perspectives. I think the constant theme, and there was some hashtags about this stuff, is that we're all trying to figure it out. And when you have the leaders of these companies saying, we don't have it right, we don't have it right, I think that was a persistent theme, that no one has the roadmap for the future, and there needs to be conversations. And that's what this conference is all about. That's what we try to do in many of our Vox Media properties, too, provide that forum.
Yeah, I mean, big tech overall, I mean, lobbying dollars have gone 3x in 10 years,
yeah,
right?
right.
So I would assume is it fair to say they're girding for battle, or are they still doing white papers? Is it that sort of mentality?
I'm sure they are assessing all of their options and trying to figure out, what they can do best for their shareholders, their customers, and their different stakeholders. But there is a big reckoning, a reckoning of their responsibility. Another constant theme is we're about 10, 15 years into this cycle of these major FANG companies kind of growing up, and this is a year of humility and a year of reckoning for these companies, trying to understand what it is that they've built, which I think undoubtedly, I'm a tech optimist, and I think undoubtedly they've done a lot of things to advance us, to help so many people, to give a voice to so many people, in particular in social media. But along with that comes a lot of responsibility, and they haven't always lived up to accepting that responsibility. And now you're seeing them try to grapple with that, try to do that, understand what it means for regulation if they don't do that. A lot of them are asking for regulation, which I think is interesting. But one way or another, they have to solve it.
Yeah. Let's talk digital media for a moment, because you've been busy on your own projects growing within Vox.
Yeah.
What lessons are you coming to in that space?
Well, we know there's a lot of tumult in media generally. You cover on your air all the big mega mergers happening. If I see Rupert Murdoch and Fox feeling like they have to consolidate with Disney, I know that a company like ours has to innovate, has to find opportunity, and that's what we're focused on doing. We have big growth areas in our company, whether it's podcasting, where we have Vox Media Podcast Network and some of the leading podcasts, whether it's our foray into TV, where we have a huge Hulu deal that we announced with food, partnering with David Chang, Chrissy Teigen, and our Eater brand to produce a whole food network within Hulu, or whether it's focusing on our advertising business and digital growth in the video areas and all sorts of other things. We have a technology business called Chorus that provides a platform for digital publishers. So we're looking to consolidate in different ways. Sometimes it's about buying companies. Sometimes it's about providing platforms for advertising or technology so other companies don't have to make that investment themselves. They can get better product from us at a cheaper cost.
In terms of creating content, you mentioned David Chang and Teigen. Why would you want to get into that in a market where people say we're in peak content mode, right? There's so many hours we stream more than we watch television now.
Well, at Vox Media, we pride ourselves on being the leading modern media company. What does that mean? That means that we tell stories wherever modern audiences want to consume them. And they clearly want to consume them not only on websites, not only in podcasts, but on streaming platforms. We have to be there if we're going to fulfill our mission. And they're huge growth opportunities. I mean, look at the billions and billions that are being spent. These companies are coming to us because they know we are talking to their audience. Call it millennials, call it cord nevers, call it cord cutters. We have brands that resonate. We have talent that knows how to produce it, and we want to be there. So it's a big growth business for us.
Interesting. One last question. You've had an interesting month in which you've been working with your own employees, really over issues of pay, right?
Well, also, you know, I view it as making it a stronger workplace to me, and all sorts of things. And we just came to a great agreement, great in terms of making our company stronger, making our employees, getting them a better workplace. We signed a tentative agreement on Friday, and we were really excited to do that. We think it's going to lead to a better workplace and a stronger Vox Media and help us fulfill our mission.
Were you surprised by, I don't know, the way they coalesced on social media to talk to you, the boss? That's sort of a new way to handle your labor disagreements, right?
You know what? I think in a mostly respectful way, they took to social media to tell stories about why they love working at Vox Media, how they think Vox Media can be an even stronger place. I think, you know, all of them start off by saying, I love working here, and here's how I think it can be even better. And I'm glad that we were able to work with them to do just that. I couldn't be more thrilled.
Juggling that and this conference and coming on here, Jim, thank you very much.
Carl, it's my pleasure. Thank you for joining us here, as always.
We love it. Jim Bankoff of Vox.